Okay, hello, and welcome to the Tainted Tavern. I've got another pipe tobacco review for you now, and this is Bob's Flake, which was previously called Bob's Chocolate Flake, but the ever draconian, increasingly draconian tobacco laws means you can't use the word chocolate now, so it's now been rebranded as Bob's Flake, though it's the same tobacco. I suppose that probably allowing that extra word in the title, instead of Bob's Flake, allowing it to be Bob's Chocolate Flake makes it even more hazardous to our health. Go figure.
Coming to the Tainted Tavern, come sit a while for free. We talk about our amusings and devices we've been using.
Bob's Flake, or Bob's Chocolate Flake, comes from Gawyth Ogath, so it's in a sense a Lakeland tobacco that is produced in Kendal in the heart of Lakeland. It's a medium strength pipe tobacco made up of Virginias, Bertleys and a small amount of Latakia. Then it's topped off with a unique flavouring compound of chocolate and whisky, chocolate, vanilla and whisky to be precise. As I say, it's made up basically of Brazilian, Zimbabwean and Malawi Virginia leaves, which makes up 82% of the blend. Then we've got smaller additions of Malawi sun-cured leaf and Malawi burley, which makes up another 10% of the blend, and then 8% of the blend is finished off with Latakia to give it that smoky aspect. This tin I jarred up in June 2025, so it's had about, 6 months of aging on it. So we'll pop it open, and so as you can see, the flakes are quite moisture level in these little jars that I use to age my tobacco. It's really nice and moist. It's rather elasticy. So what I'm going to do is break off a little bit of leaf here, or flake rather. So there we have. I think that's enough for a bowl. I'm just going to rub it out. Simply just rub it on my hand. You can stuff and flake these stuff and fold these flake tobaccos into the bowl, and a lot of pipe smokers swear by that method. Personally, I prefer to rub mine out because I always have trouble with the fold and flake. But basically, the way it's done is you take your tobacco, and rather than rub it out, it's folded and flaked, stuffed into the bowl. But I prefer to rub out my tobacco. It's just a personal preference. I'm not saying this is the right way or the wrong way. Neither way is right or wrong. It's whatever suits you. So I've rubbed it out there, and it's come down to a nice consistency. Now once more, I'm going to do this a blast in my Falcon pipe here with a meerschaum bowl. Simply because, as I've said in previous videos, and being argued with by one particular pipe smoker, because I said that the reason I use meerschaums for tasting, or a meerschaum bowl at least, the rest of the pipe is the Falcon pipe, which has got the metal stem here, which does contribute to a cooler, drier smoke, the Falcon system. But the reason I use meerschaum is it doesn't ghost. And all I do after I finish smoking a meerschaum is give the inside of a bowl a light wipe over with a damp tissue. And Bob's your uncle. Bob's your uncle chocolate flake, or Bob's your uncle flake. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to pop out into the bothy of broken dreams, and get this bowl lit up and give you some thoughts on this tobacco. Oh, I promised, didn't I, to show you the ammunition box that I purchased at auction, military ammunition box that I purchased at auction that I use for cellaring my tobacco. So I'll do that now, and then I'll put this Bob Chocolate Flake back. As you see, I've got it in a mason jar. I've printed a label out of the internet and stuck it over it, because this is an aromatic tobacco. It's something that I enjoy from time to time, but most of my smoking is predominantly English blends, so this will last me a while, so I keep it jarred up. Let me just get my cellar. Now my cellar's not as comprehensive as it once was, because I gave up cigarette smoking. I was a chronic cigarette smoker at one time, and it's about 8 years ago actually, coming up this month, since I've given up. And for the first few years of giving up cigarettes, I also gave up the pipe. I didn't intend to give up the pipe, not consciously, But I didn't want to smoke a pipe because I was worried that it would drive me back into cigarette smoking, and so I gave a lot of tobacco away. I gave a lot of pipes away and all. I regret that now. But let me just get my cellar to show you. So here is what I use for my pipe tobacco cellar. And it's housed away then in a wardrobe. It's a large box. It's a large thick wooden box. And I've got various tobaccos in here. I've got some American blends, C&C. There's some Three Nuns, which has been in this jar for 2015, 10 years. This here is my Frankenstein mix, which is a mixture of different tobaccos. And I also originally topped this off with a small bottle of Gentleman Jack whisky. Poured it in there and allowed it to be infused. So you've got various types of leaves in here. You've got cigar leaf. You've got basically the dregs of nearly every pouch of tobacco I ever buy, because when it gets down that there's only a little bit of tobacco left in the bottom of the pouch, I pour it into this Frankenstein mix. This gives a different smoking experience every time you try it. It's got Condo in here, it's got Clan in here, it's got Mellow Virginia in here, it's got Gold Block in here, it's got Swamp Flower in here, it's got various Latakia, it's got a lot of different tobaccos. There's some Cabby's mixture, some Flake, Presbyterian, Black X, which is a really strong tobacco, from Samuel Gawith, which is a rope type tobacco. So you can see there. This is quite nice. It's a very meaty smoke. What's this? This is Black Frigate from Cornell and Dean. I've got a little bit of Orlick Golden Slice left. Now there's not enough in there, I don't think, for a bowl, so I'll actually now open this up. This Orlick Golden Slice rather into my Frankenstein mixture. So now again that is added to my Frankenstein mixture. I'll now clear this jar out and use it for a different tobacco. So, you know, the Frankenstein mixture, which we call them, it gives a different smoke every time. There are so many different tobaccos in here. What else have we got by here? We've got a Condo Original. I like my Condo. There's some Bold Kentucky here. This stuff is really good tobacco. I've got various Pessy Canoes. This is Blue Pearl. I've got Oriental. I've got a Latakia Flake. This year is Sunday Morning Picnic. There's cherry vanilla tobacco there. What else we got here? We got Swamp Flower, of course. There is so many tobaccos in here, which basically stay stored away in this ammunition box, closed up, and then placed into my wardrobe, where it's kept for however long. So that's basically when you hear me talk about tobacco.
As I watch the sun descending and the birds fly home to rest, in the hush when day is ending, that's the hour when I feel blessed. Smoking my pipe, smoking my pipe.
The chocolate aroma on this is quite pronounced. You can taste the burley in this. It's a nutty quality to the smoke.
Like a whisper through the cornfield comes a gentle evening breeze. At the doorway of my cottage I recall old memories. Smoking my pipe.
Surprisingly, although there is a chocolate aroma, the taste I get from this don't really include chocolate. I can taste some of the whiskey topping and perhaps some vanilla.
Smoking my pipe. Those far off places beyond the blue.
It's a nice change of pace from time to time, because as I say, I predominantly smoke English blends, so this is a nice change of pace. It's very creamy tobacco. I binge watched on ITVX, that is the streaming channel of the independent television network. I binge watched After the Flood, the second season, really enjoyed it, rather fitting as well, because I don't think this rain's ever going to stop. But overall, it was a great series. I enjoyed the first season, but I think the second season was actually an improvement on the first. The first had set up all these elements of police corruption, and the second series paid off on that. So you have rich, creamy, vanilla sweetness and nuttiness. Glass of scotch. My go-to drink these days.
Familiar faces that once I knew. I recall those days behind me and the happiness they meant. Every sundown you will find me with a heart that is content, smoking my pipe, smoking my pipe. You remember the first time we met? You were the only one in that railway carriage who didn't like me smoking my dear old pipe. Compromise, I opened the window. What a lovely surprise you gave me on our wedding day. A tobacco jar. How I remember.
Yeah, I was on the internet the other day, and I was just randomly browsing, which sometimes can swallow up hours. You type in one thing and something comes up, and then that leads you down another one. It's a proper rabbit hole. And I came to some website, an article in I think it was either the Telegraph or the Guardian, and they were talking about the resurgence in pipe smoking, particularly among younger people, the millennials or Generation Z, whatever they call them. And that interested me, because when I was growing up, I took a pipe smoking in my 20s, and that put me aside from most people because pipe smoking was perceived then as being something that old men did. Now I am an old man. Now I'm out of sync with. Seems to be something that the younger are taking up, but it's interesting. I think it's seen now becoming evident that pipe smoking is, rather than a habit, it's an hobby. It's a luxury way to enjoy tobacco. Cigarettes to me, they have always been the problem. I had a problem with cigarettes for a great many years. Thankfully, coming up 8 years this month since I've quit. And on average, I probably smoke 5 to 10 pipes a week, which is not a great deal. But there will be times, quite often, where I go a couple of months without a pipe because it's not as habit-forming as cigarettes. You don't have to get that nicotine in. Admittedly, I do use a vape, which I've used ever since I gave up cigarettes, so I'm still getting my nicotine. But the pipe is so much more relaxing and rewarding than any other form of smoking, and I like from time to time, don't buy them myself, can't afford them, but I do like a really high quality cigar. And if I'm ever lucky enough to be at a friend's or whatever, and they've got some cigars and they offer me one, I do enjoy a cigar. But pipe smoking goes beyond cigars. It's just a relaxing, contemplative form of smoking that I don't think any other form of smoking gives you. So now that I've gone over the halfway mark, I'm getting that nuttiness. Some natural Virginia tastes. And maybe, just maybe, a slight chocolatey, although I can smell the chocolate on the aroma. I can imagine the room note for this for a non-smoker would be quite tolerable.
Each smile and tear as life's December is drawing near.
It's a lovely, smooth, creamy smoke. Very, very creamy. In a sense, it's got that creaminess that I always associate with a tobacco like Ennerdale. And just sit back, listen to the pitter-patter of the rain on the roof, and enjoy the moment.
Ever-moving finger closes one more day, but yet, while such thoughts as mine can linger, I'll have nothing to regret. Smoking my pipe, smoking my pipe, smoking my pipe.
I've just written the end on my latest book recently. It's a crime thriller, a police procedural, but I hope my aim was to make it gritty and realistic and not, you know, over the top in the way that some crime fiction is. It's called, or at least going at the moment under the working title of What Remains Hidden. I think it will keep that title because a follow-up book which I'm just about to start on, because I like to get to work on the follow-up while I polish up the first book and get it out to publishers' agents to try and get this placed. I'm quite pleased with this book, but the follow-up is going to be called What Burns Away. And if I do get some success with these books, then maybe a third one could have a different title again. It'll be What or something. The plot is, it's a contemporary crime novel, although the plot harkens back to a coal mining disaster which occurred in 1980. The area that I've set the novel is a real area. The geography is real as well, but the coal mining disaster is a fictional colliery because 35 men die in this disaster, and I felt that I had to fictionalize it for that reason alone. But anyway, hopefully that'll do well. I'll keep you informed on that book through every step of the process. It's currently with several agents. The first few chapters, synopsis and so forth, are with several agents because I'm hoping to get this agented before I start pushing around publishers. A very difficult way to make a living writing. I'm a professionally published author. I've got 17 books out there. You know, I've been professionally published. That's not self-published, but still, income-wise, it's probably less than 25% of my yearly income comes from my writing. But it's something that I've got to do. It's something that I've always done. I enjoy it certainly, but it's a compulsion. I've always, if I'm not writing or working on something for a prolonged period of time, I tend to suffer from, I wouldn't say depression, but low moods. I feel lackluster, and so it's a compulsion to write, I think. I'd love to write a pipe book if I could find a publisher. That's something that I may consider self-publishing, because pipe smoking is so niche and frowned upon these days by society at large that I think it may be hard to find a publisher that would touch a book about the history of pipe smoking. But I'm going to write that, and I'll probably self-publish it further down the road. Coming to the bottom of a bowl of this, and I have very much enjoyed this. Creaminess is the predominant feel of this. The mouth feel is very creamy. Some vanilla. I think the vanilla is more evident in the taste than the chocolate, although the aroma is very chocolatey, like a rich, decadent, dark chocolate. That's Bob's Flake, previously known as Bob's Chocolate-flavoured Flake from Chocolate-flavoured. This blend has been around for a long time, and I don't see it going anywhere soon. It's quite iconic in pipe smoking circles. It's made in Kendal in the heart of the Lake District. By truly artisan pipe tobacco manufacturers, world famous, both Chocolate-flavoured and Samuel Gowith. They were once one company, but they are again now, but they were once originally one company, and there was bit of family shenanigans, and I'm going to cover that in a video one day because it's really interesting. It's kind of soap opera. What happened, what broke Gowith Hoggett apart, so it became two companies, Gowith Hoggett and Samuel Gowith, and now in the modern day, after decades and decades and decades of being separated, they've all come together and they're one company again. But that's rather interesting. I'll cover that in a video somewhere down the road. I need to do a lot more research into what happened, but I believe it was something to do with a sexual affair. And why the two brothers fell out. So that's interesting, isn't it? It's like a soap opera. But yeah, smooth smoking, very tasty, medium, on the upper scales of medium in terms of strength. Taste wise, it's full flavoured. So I don't want to say on the eye terms because that'll make people think it's too harsh. It's not harsh, it's really smooth. And yes, so I suppose mild, but mild to me as an unfortunate, perhaps it's just my mind, but whenever anything is mild, I always see it as being bland, tasteless, and this certainly isn't that.
Coming to the Tainted Tavern, come sit a while for free. We talk about our musings and devices we've been using.